everybody, welcome.
Hi.
We're in Maine and it's just a beautiful state. Oh my gosh, we're going to show you so much stuff in here. You know, in our videos we try to give you some history, some geography, and just some interesting facts about where we're going. But life just happens when you're going along, and regretfully for me, as you remember back in the going through the Gulf, Florida, I had a stint in hospital with what was called pancreatitis. Well, it turns out it wasn't pancreatitis, it was actually a gallbladder problem. And so now I'm in Maine, and a little tiny town in Maine.
Called York.
Called York. Fantastic hospital. They took my gallbladder, and I'm recovering and feeling great.
Doing wonderful.
Doing wonderful. So, just to show you that life goes on a normal basis, even when you're traveling.
Anyway, all that said, today we're going to go explore. Rob's feeling really good, so we're expecting a backlash from the hurricane.
Yeah.
Who named that hurricane? Nobody can pronounce it. So we're expecting backlash to hit tonight. So we're going to go out and do on Gunquit. Very unusual name.
Easy for you to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agunquit. A Gunquit. Beautiful little town. So we'll go see that today. What I had heard about all my life was Maine's lobster rolls, and I couldn't wait to try one. But what we also found down the street was this. So this is how you make a seafood chowder in Maine. Okay, we've got a hurricane coming in. It's not a hurricane anymore, but they've telling us up to 65-mile-an-hour winds, lots of heavy rain. And we're leaving. My husband's hungry. Where are we going, Robert?
Lobster.
Look at the weather out here.
Lovely.
I just want my kids to know it was your dad.
But it was worth it.
Hi, good morning. It's what Robert calls silly o'clock, and we're watching the sunrise. There's a couple of things you should know. There's differences. You're used to sunsets. A sunset you watch with a glass of wine. Sunrise, coffee, oh my gosh. And it's beautiful. They're both beautiful. We found out the most photographed lighthouse in Maine is in York. It's the Nubble Lighthouse, which is in Natick. So easy for you to say, but it was beautiful. It was built and put to work in 1897, and it's still in use today. Our favorite part was the flat rock area that you viewed it from, and the families that came together to have their pictures taken or to have a picnic lunch. It was wonderful. So much of the Maine coastline is rocky. If you do find a beach, it's because the tide has gone out and they're not there very long. This lighthouse is the Portland Head Lighthouse. Hi guys! We finally found a place to drive along the shore sign in Kennebunk. This is Kennebunk Beach. It's beautiful. I just put my feet in, so I have officially been from coast to coast. Doesn't this place look just lovely? Robbie had asked us to stop at Maine Brewery because he loved their beers. Their company logo is Do What's Right, and they do. Whether it's donating to causes or building a beautiful atmosphere in which you can view their brew tanks. Or just grab a bite to eat with friends. We loved the place. Maine seems to have an abundance of hydrangea. Our good friend kept saying, "Go to Kennebunk, you will love it." So we did, and it was another one of the lovely little towns up and down the coast. They had the most amazing farmers market. Everything was so fresh. Fresh fruits, vegetables, honeys, breads. Oh my gosh, look at that basil.
One of the great things about traveling is that you meet some really interesting people. We met a couple that had stopped in this place called Booth's Bay, and they said you've got to go there and try the lobster, fresh off the boat. And here it is. Doesn't that look delicious? People are always ready to stand in line for ice cream. Every town and village we went to had their own uniqueness. And this is on our way to a lobster boat. We are going to see how lobsters get caught.
You don't want my face in here, do you? No, he says. So we'll talk about the anatomy of this lovely young lady here.
And by the way, we're now lobster experts. Ah yes, the happy couple, here we are. But look behind us, that mansion is the family home of the Bush family. In fact, former President George W. Bush was in residence when we were there.
We couldn't buy a lobster off the boat, so we found the next best thing. Lobster cost us about $6 here. I do have to tell you at this point, Rob and I are what we call lobster snobs. We know exactly how we like our lobster cooked, whether we're going to eat a male or female, but I do have to say, we have had our fill of lobster at this point. It was delicious. Speaking of delicious, back in Ogunquit was my favorite ice cream place, the Scoop Deck.
Okay, so we've been in Maine. Absolutely loved it. We've got to come back here. It's just amazing. Been here for a month.
It's not long enough.
It's not long enough. We've got to come do it again. Now we are leaving and we're heading our way back west slowly. So our next stop is Carter and Stevens Farm. It's a harvest host. It's a farm. It's a brewery. Well, okay, we'll have to have a beer there.